Henry, thank you so much for joining our team at the Kenyan Wall Street today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So tell me a little bit about Curacel.
Curacel, we're building the modern insurance infrastructure for emerging markets. So the problem we're trying to solve is you see very low insurance penetration across the continent, across emerging markets. This is not just an opportunity, it's a big social problem. And so as a company, our mission is to be able to build a technology stack that will power existing insurance companies, but also foster development and growing the market. So it's software, really cloud-based software that cuts across from distribution to claims processing. Nowadays we're looking at even the payments and so on and so forth.
Insurance penetration here in Africa severely lacks much of the rest of the world. If you're talking to someone who has never had insurance before, how do you explain it to them?
What it is. So I like to start with we like to start with the healthcare, right? Because it's like health is wealth, right? Without being healthy, you can't really do anything. And so a typical African pays out of pocket. So you get sick, you've got to put the money out of your pocket and pay. Most Africans, aren't, earning thousands of dollars a month. And typically an average cost of a healthcare, say malaria or something like that, costs a couple of bucks. And so typically how we like to think about insurance is that, you're kind of like adding into a pool for the rainy day, for something like healthcare, so that when you get sick or someone in your family, you don't have to break the bank, which is what mostly happens for most of the continent. Is like something happens, you fall sick, your mom falls sick, you raid the bank of all your relatives, trying to solve for that. So we try to explain insurance as sort of like, figuring out a way to protect yourself from risk for the future.
Okay, and what do you hope to get out of your experience this week at Kaufman Fellows?
Yeah, so some of my investors are Kaufman Fellows, and so it's been very good to know them, work with them over the months or years that we've worked together. So just looking to understand how some of these investors think, what they're looking forward to on the continent, what kind of metrics, businesses they're looking forward to, making sure that we tell the story of our business. We're building in the right direction. So yeah, building relationships. So obviously these guys, some of these guys are going to be helping fund the future of the continent, and so we're long term. So we're definitely happy to build relationships. It's not transactional for us. For me, it's build relationships, understand how they're thinking about it, and then see how it goes.
Okay, now many of the investors who are here this week have never been to Africa, never been to Kenya. They don't know much about the continent. What do you hope that they return home with knowing?
Yeah, so if you see, Africa hasn't had the best press. Like the president was saying yesterday, when you think about Africa, you think about places like poverty, insecurity, but that's not really the case. Like Kenya is pretty safe. People ask me all the time, should I come to Lagos? Is it safe? Of course it's safe. What do you mean by it's safe? So I think one thing I hope people get out of here is to see that, it's definitely very safe. There's a massive opportunity, lots of vibrant, energy, lots of young people, lots of infrastructure gaps that can still be fixed. So I'm hoping people leave here being excited about funding the future of the continent. In the next 30 years, a quarter of the world would live in Africa. Most of the young people, around 30% of the young people will be in Africa. So excited about them learning about here and then figuring out how to impact and make money. It's not a charity. Yeah.
Few personal questions for you, if you don't mind. When you were first starting your career, what did you spend your first paycheck on?
Whoa, what did I spend my first paycheck on? That's a very interesting question. I've never thought about that. Probably an iPhone, something like that.
An iPhone. I think that's a good investment.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, we all love music when we're working or when we're hanging out. What if I looked at your Spotify or your Apple?
YouTube music. What would you see?
YouTube. What genres would I see? Afrobeats.
Afrobeats, and then you're gonna see. So I listen to. I like to work with focus music, so the binaural beats, but mostly Afrobeats. Lonely at the Top. This days is on repeat for me, but mostly Afrobeats.
Okay. Nigerian or Ghanaian jollof?
Come on, definitely Nigerian jollof.
All right, Henry, thank you so much.